we're really excited to have everybody. I did unmute, so if you guys wanted to self-mute yourself or jump in, ask questions, whatever you need to do. So we're really glad that you guys are going to be interactive with us today. So we're going to go over what's new with the ASNOA University. We're going to talk about our upcoming ASNOA Sales Conference and our ASNOA scholarships that we're really excited about. And then we're going to jump right into talking about referrals in your agency. I just love this picture of our team. All right, so if you have not heard and you have not seen in our ASNOA newsletters, our upcoming sales conference and trade show is in St. Charles, Missouri, October 4th through the 6th. It is a great town, and I'm so excited for it to be there. So if you guys have never been to St. Charles, Missouri, it is amazing. They have this downtown area for shopping, and they have this little, antique town, and it's really neat. So you guys are going to have to Google some information on St. Charles. It's such a family friendly town. I mean, besides the big casino that's there. Megan, do you want to talk a little bit about the sales conference?
Sure thing. And it relates very much to today's topic as well. So I am just going to share my screen. If you can give me permission to, oh, yep. Okay. So here is the asnoa.com, if everyone's able to see that.
I cannot. There we go. It just popped up. Can everybody else?
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
So asnoa.com, you guys go over here to events. We have a whole page here that talks about what the conference is going to be, kind of what you can expect. You can register. You can take a look at the location Laura was just talking about, get a sneak peek agenda, look at travel and lodging information. And we also have this thing that we want to emphasize today is all of our scholarships. So I'll kind of skim through here, different reasons to go. Example agendas you guys can play with that are very interactive. You can see, if you've never been, what people say about the past event, see kind of live pictures, get a feel for it, each one of these things. Again, you can start reserving your room. You can go on a payment plan too, so that you pay off your hotel over the next following months on your ASNOA statement. Kind of makes that easy, a little bit more affordable in chunks. And then as it relates to today, we have scholarships that are available so that someone from your agency or yourself can go basically for free. So it's airfare and 2-night stay, all that covered by ASNOA. In February, this month, has 2 that are running. So this is the kickoff for a scholarship that is running all the way through August. And what that is the first one is the ASNOA Champion. So this is referrals. So related to what we're talking about today for getting referrals for your agency, best practices for that. We also have a scholarship that is running where, in addition to the potential 10% override every month that you get for the agent you refer, varies by state, you can also win a free trip to the conference. So write down, think about, when you think about referrals for your agency, think about also referrals for ASNOA, because you could actually get some significant chunks of change for that. So that's exciting. And then Laura, I will not take your thunder if you want to quickly talk about your advocate stuff, unless there's a slide in there.
I do, but since you're here, we're just going to stay right here. So the ASNOA University Advocate, so it's for 2021. So we finished up our 2020, and we had some fantastic winners, which I think we have on with us right now, Jay-Z, and I think Kristen's with us as well. I don't think Stephen is. So that was awesome that we had some winners for last year. We're rolling it out for 2021. So if you are joining our spotlights, like with Laura's, if you've attended and graduated the PLCC, the Personalized Coverage course, or the Small Business Commercial course, all of those points are going to go towards your scholarship and for your prizes. It is a great way to get involved with ASNOA and get that free scholarship. So we are really excited to be rolling that out for 2021. And we are going to keep track of that for you and roll out the leaderboard like we have in our past Live with Boris to let you know who's up on top and who's creeping up there. So you're going to have to tune in every month to see where you're standing with the points.
All right, so we have that one running. We also have others in here in March, so you can check back again asnoa.com. It's that affiliate information. Each month, check your AA, the ASNOA Advantage. We're going to be launching a whole bunch of scholarships so that you can attend for free, which is awesome. And we also have something, I just want to quickly come down here. We have year-long scholarships. So for the next event, this year is going to count for much bigger scholarships as well. So a lot of you guys here, you can be the Rockstar Rookie, Agent of the Year, Growth Monster. And then we have this new one where if somebody does something above and beyond, does something in their community that's very impactful, does a highly successful fundraiser, innovate something new, some new technology, new integrations, operating procedures, we want you guys to start nominating your peers, or you can have your family nominate you for Agency of the Year to win some big stuff for the 2022 event. So that is all occurring right now. All right. The other thing is this is the month of sharing the love, giving the love. So we want you to just Google the Agent Support Network of America, Support Network of America, right here. And then when you see right here, it shows our Google My Business page. If you guys could leave a review for us, that would be amazing. We need your help, just like what Jay-Z and Chance and Logan are going to talk about. Reviews and referrals are huge, so please leave a review for ASNOA as well. And again, referrals get that extra bump of a scholarship for the most referrals. So that's all the time I wanted to take, because the importance is getting your peer-to-peer feedback right now. So I will stop sharing and taking screen time.
All right, thank you. But I did want to show everybody real quick, if you wanted to go back where you were at, Megan, back into our website. So in order to register for any of our sessions, so before you were able to, we would send you the links, you would have all of that information. So if you go to our website and then click on the ASNOA University, and when you go into the ASNOA University and you scroll down, you are going to see all the areas to go into our register for our live training, for all of our online courses, the video library. We have so many videos that Anise has been keeping up and doing on how to do stuff in Epic, and that's the ASNOA YouTube channel. And then also, if you scroll down a little bit more, Megan, here are all of the sessions to register for. So the weekly help is amazing. We have so many people that jump on, ask a question, jump off. You don't have to stay on that full hour. Just bring all your questions and we can answer them for you at that time. Easy links, if you want to go through easy links on maybe you're stuck in a certain area, we can do that together. Just ask your questions and you can jump off. Or if you have new CSRs or producers that are working in EasyLink, have them join this so we can make sure they're all set and ready to go in their coding. And then tracking sales, Anissa can show you how to track your sales in your agency. And that dashboard that pops up on your home screen, Anissa can walk you through all of that and set up reports on how you can track sales. The commercial lines is once a week. Got questions on how to enter a certificate of insurance, join this session. We can work on that with you. If you're looking to remarket and requote existing business, we can help you with that and how to manage your Epic renewals. You should be all getting that exceptions report. And when you get that exceptions report, it's going to show you which policies increased in premium, 10% for personal lines and 5% for commercial lines. So you want to make sure that you are getting that report and you are working your renewals, because as soon as that goes out, that notice of that increase is going to your clients as well. So you want to make sure that you are staying ahead of that and managing reports. If you guys are looking to get any new reports, reschedule reports, jump on here and register with Anissa, and she is going to work with you on that. And then the last one is how to service your clients. So if you have endorsements and cancellations, you know, you can jump on here and we will work with you, either myself or Anissa, on how to get all the servicing done in Epic. So we are really excited to have all those available. So you need to go to the asnoa.com website and register under Asnoa University. Thank you very much, Megan. All right, so I am going to bring this back up, and we just went through half of our slides here. All right, so we have the leaderboard. So this is what the leaderboard looked like last month when we were rolling it out for the winners, in December. So who's it going to be? We went through the university, all of our sessions. These are all the resources that are available to you. I don't ever want anybody to ever be frustrated and think, oh, how am I going to get this policy out of suspense? Join a weekly session. Send an email to training@asnoa.net, Anissa and Catherine. They're going to give you some videos, tell you where to go to get the manuals, so you have all of that information. Please make sure that you are getting the Asnoa newsletter. There is so much information that's coming to you from us that we send it out twice a month to you. And also the Asnoa Facebook page. We are always updating and putting stuff on there. So please make sure you guys are getting all of the resources that are free to you as part of the Asnoa Advantage. Oh, and one more thing. There's only one email that's going to come out once a month that's going to tell you what is going on for the upcoming month for webinars. So right now you would have received, what, the 1st of February, I think, Megan, and it would have told you that Live Referral was coming out. And there is a podium. There's a Asnoa Spotlight with podium, and that's on the 23rd, correct, Anissa? I think that's on the 23rd. So if you haven't registered for that, you guys are going to want to make sure you don't want to miss that one. And then in the beginning of March is Megan and Madeline are going to talk about marketing. That is a must register for. If you have not been in any of Megan's marketing webinars, you are missing out because it is fantastic. All right, please Google us. Megan showed us how to do that. So as part of our Share the Love, and I say it all the time, guys, that outstanding commissions report is huge. There's thousands of dollars on that. So when that email comes to you, please stop what you're doing. Check that report. Get those policies into Epic. If you don't know what to do with it, Anissa has her own very Ask Anissa in our Asnoa newsletter. And this month, as part of Share the Love, she is going to share with you guys what you need to do to make sure that those policies are in Epic, they're in correctly, what to do when you see policies on this report. You definitely have to email Outstanding at Asnoa the policy number and the name so they can reconcile commission. If you just enter that policy in, accounting does not know that you entered it in, so they're not going to reconcile commission. So it's really important that you take a look at this report. If you are not receiving this email, check your junk folder. You should be receiving emails from us periodically throughout the month. And if you're not receiving them, you're missing out on a lot of helpful information. So check your junk folder so you can get that approved, or make sure it's not junk, or whatever the wording is on all of that. You want to make sure that you are receiving all of those. All right, so a lot of our agents, they come to me and they say, hey, Laura, what are other people doing in their agency that's working? And I'm going to tell you guys, since COVID and everything that's been going on, and having to redo your agency's workflows and how you're doing business a little differently. The biggest one was, how is everybody getting referrals into their agency? So we wanted to put together a Live with Laura where we can have some folks come on, talk about what's working for them, what's not working for them. So we are really excited to have with us today, we have Chance Michaels. So Chance, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. If you want to just tell the group a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Yeah. So my name is Chance Michaels. I'm entering my third year with the group with Asnoa. My 13th year as an insurance agent. I was with one of the big captive companies for about 10, 11 years, and really had built my business over at that company off of mortgage companies and realtors. Really, that was my big referral source, and I've just brought that with me. So I think that's what I'll talk about today. I am not an expert on all things referral, but these things, I've tested a lot of different things. Over the last couple of days, I've jotted down a bunch of notes, some do's and do nots, and things that'll get you in trouble with the loan officers, and hopefully I can be helpful.
Thank you very much. And also with us is Jay-Z. Jay-Z, thank you for joining, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I'm the opposite of Chance. He's got the holy grail of referral networks. That's absolutely something we want to build. We're a brand new agency. We've only been around for about 4 months. So we're the opposite of referrals. We've got to find a different way to get business. So we've been purchasing leads, live transfers, stuff that's people go searching for stuff on the internet, SEO kind of stuff. And we do that because here in LA, in California, super saturated market. Everybody's competing for everything. Everybody's got gazillions of dollars for advertising. And because of the lockdown, we don't have the flexibility to go out and build some of the wonderful relationships Chance has built out just yet. That's precisely what we're going to pursue afterwards. But I'll hit on leads. If you're not getting the referrals, if you're a new agency, if you need to fill in the voids when these other things aren't keeping your office fully occupied, or even if you just want to supercharge growth. So I'll hit on that.
All right, wonderful. Thank you so much. And we have Logan Dustin with us. Thanks for joining us, Logan.
Thank you for having me, Laura. So thank you again for having me. My name is Logan Dustin. I'm at about a year with Asnoa right now. We do about 50% of mortgage broker referrals and also about 50% of like Facebook and social media referrals. And we're going to talk about both of those with you today and what we do and how and what works with us. So that's about it.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you guys so much for joining. I know our group is going to be getting so much information. So first, Chance, since you brought it up, let's talk about what you are doing in your agency and how you are obtaining those mortgage brokers and those real estate leads.
Yeah, so let me just give you the full extent of my background, because it does matter. But I'm gonna hopefully teach you some things or give you some ideas that might help you overcome some of the stuff that I had to do. So before I started my insurance agency with Farmers Insurance in 2008, from about 1997 till that time, I was in the mortgage business. I was actually a wholesale rep for a mortgage bank. So kind of like, the glass guy that comes to your office, or in fact, even the regional rep with Travelers. That's what I did. And so I tried to get these mortgage brokers to use our bank's money. And so I built some really, really good relationships over that 10-year period with who I felt were bedrock type mortgage loan officers. As you all know, if you've been in this business for any amount of time, loan officers come and go, but there's the good ones that stick around and have a 30, 40-year career. And that's who I had built some relationships with. So when I started my agency in 2008, during the craziest time to ever start an agency, maybe next to COVID, I guess COVID might be even crazier, but I brought a lot of those relationships with me and was able to build a pretty decent and stable book off of what I would call preferred leads. And that's really what, we do a lot of personal lines here. So, you're searching for that preferred client. For one, they don't, they're easier to place, at least in the Arizona market. And secondly, they don't have a lot of claims usually. And so that's really, really good for your bottom line, for your profitability. So that's what we've done. And so I brought about 15 of those guys with me, and I've maintained almost all of those relationships. And then with those, what I did, I also branched out into the realtor market. That's a little bit of a different animal. And probably I would call that a tier 2. The mortgage guy is going to really direct the insurance piece. Sometimes you'll have a realtor who's aggressive and he'll push, but normally they want to stay out of that piece of the transaction. But the mortgage guy has to have the insurance. So you want to build that relationship, and it does take some time. But once you've got it built, specifically once you've got it built on the independent side, you're everything that mortgage guy wants. It's a one-stop shop. You don't, if you're stuck with farmers and farmers can't be competitive, then that client's got to go to the next person and to the next person, and that can really make the deal difficult for the loan officer. When you can tell him, hey, look, I've got, appointments with 15 different preferred carriers. We're going to take care of this client. We're going to do it quick. They love it. And so, so that would be kind of the jumping off point. I don't know if you guys want to throw questions at me, or I could give you, Laura, I can just give some tips.
Well, I have a couple questions that are coming in. So
Okay.
How are you approaching a mortgage broker? What do you do? What do you say to them? You just walk right into their office and give them your card and tell them to give you leads?
Yeah, so no, don't do that, because you won't get anywhere. Well, yes and no. So sometimes that can work if you're good enough on your feet. So I would say most of us, we have professional offices. So you're going to have, like in my office here, I have 2 mortgage companies that I can see from my window right now. And so as you bump into people in the parking lot, you can't just go in there. You've got to kind of have a relationship built. And that's kind of what I had with my previous business, right? So yes, you can walk in, but you have to know it's going to be a slow drip. Just like when that glass guy keeps coming into your office, if he only comes in one time, you're never going to give him a shot. But if he comes in consistently, you're going to eventually give him something. And then if he can prove himself, then he kind of makes his way into your Rolodex, right? You got to play that same long game. So that's one method. But I would say one of the methods that I think is very, very good right now is you've got a book of business already, and you've got a lot of homeowners in that book of business. And if your agency is anything like my agency, every day you're getting 2 or 3 requests for mortgagee changes on a homeowner's policy, right? So lots of refinances going on right now. So obviously, so a tip I would give you, if you're getting it from Chase or Wells Fargo, just turn that thing around and get it out when you can get it out. But if it's coming from a mortgage broker, you need to let your staff know that that's priority number 1. You need to turn that around like lightning, and then you need to get on the phone and make a phone call to that loan officer or to that processor and say, hey, thank you for letting us help you with that, and start that relationship. Because all of these guys are dealing with, I would call them the absentee insurance agent, right? Like they request the evidence of insurance, and a week later, they finally, after 3 requests, get it. That guy's never going to get an opportunity for that business. But if you turn it around within minutes and you really impress that processor, and then make the call to the loan officer and just introduce yourself, you're going to get an opportunity to take them to lunch or whatever, and at least get you in the door. So I would always tell you, like, you know, maybe have some training with your staff when those mortgagee changes come in. You know, you have to analyze them, because you're never going to get into a Chase or a Bank of America. And frankly, those are coming from somewhere in Michigan, right? Who knows where those are coming from? But you've got to be able to see the mortgage brokers, and then really pounce on those. I've found that has opened many doors. And I've done the same thing with realtors. When you get the request for the clue, man, those are gold. Even though they're kind of a bummer and they sometimes take a little time to get, depending on who the carrier is, that is an opportunity for you to really shine in front of that realtor and show them that you're there to serve them and build that relationship. So look at those opportunities for service for ways to get in the door and differentiate yourself from really the 95% of the other agencies out there that are doing it when they get to it, you know? That's a long answer.
Absolutely. Just real quick, how are you qualifying those leads? So are you working with the mortgage company? Are they just giving you all kinds of stuff and then you're just going in and quoting all of it? Or do you have certain lenders or mortgage brokers that are giving you, you know, high end, and those are the ones that you're working with?
So the thing that you have to realize right now in the mortgage industry, you've got to be able to qualify for a loan. So if somebody's doing a refinance or a purchase, most likely they are going to be in the upper or preferred tier right now. It's hard to get money after the crash. Everybody's got to qualify with income. Everybody's got to have at least a fair credit score. So most of them are great leads. What I would tell you is you have to really understand the transaction. So like if a loan officer, I get my leads a couple different ways. Sometimes a loan officer will call me and say, hey, look, call Joe Smith. Here's his phone number. I told him that USAA was really high. Go ahead and give him a call, but I need this back ASAP. I won't cross-sell that deal. I will call that guy, get the information I need for the homeowner's policy, and get the thing done. And then we have a follow-up system in my agency where after the deal's closed, we call to do the cross-sell, because we want to make the transaction smooth for the loan officer. When you do these deals, you kind of have two clients. You have the insured and you have the loan officer. And so, but then other times I'll get leads that there's a little more runtime on them, and I'll talk to the loan officer and say, hey, I'm going to try to cross-sell this deal because I think a package is going to be better for him. Go for it, you know? So you just got to build those relationships.
All right. Are you paying for those leads? Are you giving them an incentive?
Yeah. So one of the things I do, every lead I get, regardless if we sell it, I send them a $10 Amazon gift card. And I go every other. So one, I'll send an actual hard note with an actual gift card in it. And then the next one, I send it electronically. And I don't know why I do that, but I just go every other. But I feel like I want them to see my info. And so when I send the card, it has my logo all over it. It's got my business card in it. Again, it's kind of, you're trying to build that Pavlovian reflex. You know, that's really what I mean, $10 is nothing. I mean, it's really, you're just trying to make sure that they, you know.
Well, you want them to give you a business back, you know,
Yep.
you want them to keep referring to you.
Yeah,
That's
and many of them say, Chance, quit sending me those cards. You're going to get my business, but I still do it. Don't listen to them. Just send the card.
That's good. Hey, Logan, how about you? What are you doing with your mortgage lenders, your brokers?
So just taking a step back, so we find our mortgage brokers a lot on social media. So we follow people on there and we'll see how they're interacting and we'll interact back with them. But we use a website called modex.com and it tells us how much volume that mortgage broker does a month. So we can find the actual top mortgage brokers. So it helps us figure out where our time's not being wasted. But we're not really doing anything special for our mortgage brokers. It's a lot of just building a relationship with them and being on like a friendly level, knowing their office, knowing their processor, you know, their closing department. And I mean, we don't give them anything back. We just make we just want to be part of the process. We want to make sure that their client's happy. If their client's happy, they're going to refer that mortgage broker for that whole entire experience.
Okay, so you follow them on Facebook, so you're following the ones that are in your area, or just specifically the ones you want to work with?
So my advice would be to find an actual real estate group on Facebook, and a lot of them, it will be like New Jersey, because we're in Jersey. So obviously we'll find ones that are in Jersey, PA, and then we'll just be a part of it and just watch what's going on there. And then we'll see when they request a mortgage broker, that we'll see which mortgage brokers are the top producing mortgage brokers in the area. And then we try to message them and try to build a relationship with them. Just try to do it a different way.
Yeah, that is very unique. So what's your close ratio with that, do you think?
Like 95%. And going back on what Chance said, basically, so a lot of like one mortgage broker, for example, would be like, hey, you know, call him for auto insurance too, because we actually control his auto insurance. And he has an experience that he always tells his client. So use him for home insurance, but also call him for auto insurance too. And he actually likes the fact that we sell, you know, all of it together.
Okay, so what Megan just put on here on the chat, what type of messages do you use?
Messages. So it's just basically saying like, hey, you know, I see you're a mortgage broker in, you know, this area, you know, we do a lot of business out there. We'd love to partner with you, see if we can figure a way to market with you, see if we can get lunch or coffee and just, you know, talk it out. I mean, if you come from the position that you're just trying to help them grow their business, it comes a different angle. You're not just trying to ask for the business, you're actually trying to take part in growing their business.
All right, that's awesome. So with that in mind, with social media, how else are you using social media to get referrals?
So basically social media, and I'll say this too, if you aren't using, and I know you just said Podium, it's kind of similar, but we use Social Survey for you guys. And the Social Survey is one of the best things we possibly did. I think it's like $90 a month. So basically after the whole entire sale is completed, Applied sends out an email to the clients and saying like, how is your experience with Logan Dustin Agency? So they'll like, you know, rate us on 5 questions. And the last thing is, tell us a little about the experience. So they leave a review basically. So that review gets automatically put on Facebook. And then we usually friend request the client before that review goes out. So when it finally does go out, we'll tag them and say, thank you for choosing our agency for your home insurance or your auto insurance. So not only will our clients see it or our friends see it, but also their friends too. So they also see the experience they had with our agency.
Okay, so let's just recap on that again.
I'm sorry, I speak fast.
All right, so you're going to go on your Facebook and Social Survey, that goes right in automatically on your Facebook.
Correct. And then one thing I will say too is use story feature on Facebook, because not only, you know, will you see who's looking at it, you can kind of build like an algorithm of like who's going to reach out to you next. If you see someone's been looking at your post, you know, and interacting with a thumbs up or a, you know, a heart or whatever it may be, chances are when they renew on their auto insurance or their home insurance, they're going to reach out to you to find out, you know, what kind of rates you have.
Okay, so Megan also asked here too, what has proven to work best on Facebook for you?
Just building an audience and just constantly like portraying my message. You know what I mean? Like I use Facebook almost as like, you know, radio or something that to broadcast your message to a large group. So basically like people see that our agency gives good service, gives a great experience, and also has very competitive pricing. So we bring like a small mom and pop shop to the community, but we also, they know when they come in, they're gonna get a great experience and they're gonna get a great price.
Okay, so what kind of content are you putting on your Facebook?
So Travelers has a great with their stuff. I mean, it's just basically we film videos. We did the videos for a while for informational stuff. We try to see what people want to know. We have been slacking on it, so we don't really put a lot of posts on there. We've just been so busy, and I apologize. You know, I don't have anything greater to say on that. But I mean, it's just trying to bring information and try to build your clients to know more about their insurance as an advisor role.
So the one thing that I have seen with other businesses, they are like in our area, so we have all this snow that we talked about, you know, they're adding things that are relevant to what's going on. Is that what you're finding is working for you too?
Correct.
You know, are you getting responses back if you're saying, hey, this is what you should keep this emergency kit in your car in case you break down, or keep a shovel in your car in case you go in a ditch or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, free advice is good, no matter how you get it, whether you're an insurance agent, a mortgage broker, you know, giving out free advice it's just a good thing to do. You know what I mean? And people will get to know that you know what you're talking about the product you sell. You know what I mean? So it doesn't hurt. And yeah, it definitely adds to endorsement requests and, you know, add-ons to their current policy.
So are you asking your roughly, you know, as part of your workflows, you know, this is open to everybody too, asking your current clients for referrals?
So we don't, to be honest with you. So let's take a step back. So like when we get like a mortgage broker referral, a lot of times our big thing is being accessible. So we always say, do you have a few minutes to talk or text? So we give them the option whether they want to, you know, either talk or text to us. If they text, a lot of times it's a different experience they would get from like a Geico or, you know, a Progressive Direct or one of those direct companies. So you also put in a face to the actual name. But we don't ask for it. It's just creating that great experience and having them want to talk about what they experience.
Okay. Jay-Z, are you also using social media as part of referrals?
We're on the super early stages. I actually wrote down social survey because he recommended it just now. We've only been around 4 months and change, and my wife is the big one on social media. So I said, hey, go do it. Go do something nice. So she's got that launched, and she's now just gotten these Facebook ads that you can post. You can super target interest, the type of customer you're doing. She develops a little mini ad in Canva, right? We're trying to target commercial vehicles right now. We love plumbers, couriers, electricians, all those guys with cargo vans. Oh my God, close rate on those is like 80% plus. The premium is nice. And then, you know, you've got them a month or two and they start referring business automatically. It's just that they come to us and they're like, hey, we didn't have the benefit of trying to get this done through a Farmers or a State Farm. And that referral network has been happening by accident. We've stumbled on that by blind luck. So I've taken down a couple of tips they've certainly put down here. Now, we are a lot more shameless. We're brand new, so we don't know any better. So we'll tell them the best compliments a referral, and then here you go, right? So we've got to get the programs that they're talking about, the follow-ups with gift cards and those things. We know it's a thing we've got to do. It's just in the scheme of things that we've had to do to get the agency off the ground. It's an item on the list. I know it should be higher placed, just like Logan was saying. You know you should be doing these things, but when you're launching all these things with competing priorities, they certainly start to fall by the background. But the awesome thing is that when you do just do the very shameless, hey, look, anybody else you think would benefit from this great service, more often than not, you're actually going to get a follow through. And even if you don't get a follow through on the call, you'll get the follow up phone call a week or two later. Hey, I was talking to Mercy. She said you guys helped her out. So we've been doing it by blind luck. I'm glad I dialed in because, like I said, a new agency, these little nuances certainly will help out. I'm sure they're old school to a lot of the folks that dialed in, but they're certainly helping us out over here.
I got a quick question. All right, so we know that Chance is got his incentive program going on, and Jay-Z, you're going to jump in and you're going to do that. Logan, are you giving your mortgage brokers incentives? I can't remember if you chimed in on that or not.
No, so I mean, we don't, because we found in the past from being a captive agency that when you incentivize like the leads or the referrals, it just doesn't lead to a good relationship. Down the line, something happens, and it's all about money to them, and I just don't want to chase that, and I don't mean to sound arrogant. It's just I've seen what happens to it, and I just don't want to go down that path.
And hey, Logan, can you repeat that website for us? We got a lot of people chatting in what that Modex, I think you called it.
Yeah, it's Modex. It's MODEX.com.
All right, thank you. Yes, everybody wants to check that out as well. Perfect. Okay, so Jay-Z, you said that you're doing those Facebook campaign ads. I know that's new, and I know that we would love to hear more of how that's working out for you down the line, and also what your close ratio is on those. But I wanted to ask you too, when we were talking before, you were talking about the referrals you get from commercial referrals. So that's something different as well.
Yeah, so we've stumbled on that a couple of different ways. One, there's a lockdown, so we can't go out to mortgage brokers and have those great one-on-one conversations. And trying to breach that kind of network or approach that kind of a relationship over the phone is going to be a little tougher right now. So we actually buy leads through the various lead providers out there, and your mileage is going to vary. If you don't monitor those lead providers, if you don't keep an eye on where your close rates are and whatnot, that's going to be a tough role. And then if you're out here in California, your captives get subsidized. You know, they get the mothership that kind of kicks in and throws down into their lead purchasing programs. So the very crowded space for us is the preferred consumer. Those leads are expensive. The close rates on those is not terrific because everybody's jumping in on those. Our commercial leads have been terrific. I'm not paying $10 like these guys are. I'm paying $50 for these live transfers. I'm paying $20 for a web lead, but the close rate is terrific because guess who's not chasing those out here? It's not the Allstate who just stopped or just announced that they're not going to do commercial. It's not the other captives because they've been slowly pulling out. So we buy those leads and the close rate on those has been terrific. It's not a referral, but the intent to buy is high, right? A person who's casually looking on the internet, hey, let me look for cheap insurance. Like they said, the intent is not terrific, and your mileage is going to be terrible on that. But on the commercial side, people are starting businesses even in COVID. They have a network. If all the advertising that you see out there on TV during the Super Bowl is home and auto bundles. So they don't have a lot of places to go run for commercial. They'll do a couple of Google searches and that intent is real. So when they come to us, it's very quickly, they start off on a commercial auto conversation. It turns into a commercial umbrella, it turns into workers' comp, it turns into general liability. So those bundles end up being pretty neat. As a matter of fact, you've got to have a pretty robust wholesaler network to be able to play some of these tricky things. California has locked down. Somebody comes to me with the tow truck, it's like, oh, 18 grand, let's do this, right? If they come to me with the moving company, oh, 20,000 plus, let's do that. So we've kind of stumbled on a really oddball that we had never intended to do, courtesy of these web leads that were coming in for commercial leads, and certainly are not going to ignore the terrific gold that these guys have mined. That's where it's at. That's the holy grail. It's having that business relationship. But desperate times call for desperate measures. So we're buying leads and we're enjoying so far. Mm-hmm.
Where are you getting these leads from?
Mm-hmm.
What website? Yep, we just got to check too.
Yeah,
what website are you using for those, JZ?
In 4 months, we've been throwing money out the window, trying each of these lead providers, geographies, products, and close rates, and all those kinds of things. And if your mileage is going to vary because a lot of this on what the providers do is going to be very hyper focused to the particular geography and the competition for those leads that you're seeing in your state and in your city. But on the commercial side, we use two guys. Smart Financial will do live transfers, but we've found much better success on a return per dollar for their email commercial web leads. Right, so these leads come in a steady drip, 2-3 a day. You can set the max on what you want, and you'll get the the variety of stuff. You'll get somebody who's starting an online baby goods retailer, and that turns into a business owner policy for a home-based online business. Or you'll get the tow truck operator who can't get insurance, or you'll get somebody else looking for general liability on their auction liquidation estate program. So you get all sorts of wacky stuff that ends up being pretty neat. You find your niche and you go with. On the live transfer side, we've had much higher success for live transfers in the commercial space with insurance quotes. There are other providers out there. I think they're a sub of all web leads, but the neat thing about them is they let you target SIC codes. And with that targeting, you can say, hey, I want commercial auto. Hey, I'm looking for medical offices. I'm looking for attorneys. I want to do professional liability. I'm looking for restaurants that are starting to reopen. So that you're then able to, unlike on the Smart Financial web leads, where it's the universe of what can come in. You can say, hey, look, my team just attended commercial auto training with Laura and crew. Great. Now I trust them to go handle some of these things. Hey, they heard about commercial auto and they know what rhymes with that. And they know which carriers can handle. Got it. We can throw them that way. So insurancequotes.com, allwebleads.com, they let you focus and target SIC codes. They let you focus or target on products. You can say, look, I only want commercial auto from these industries. I only want general liability from these industries. And that's very helpful because in the universe of things that are out there in commercial auto, you want to make sure you know what you're doing and you've got carriers that can support it.
So do you go to your carriers to find out what they, what they're, let's say Travelers, I don't know in different areas which carriers are better with what, and say, okay, you want all the flower shops. Boy, you are going to write the heck out of those. They'll take them all day long. And then you can go to Smart Financial, give them that SIC code, and then they'll
So
just keep giving
insurance quotes will take the SIC code, all web leads. Smart Financial will just give you whoever's looking for commercial business. And while it's neat to find the variety of stuff out there, you'll end up chasing, rabbit holes. How do I insure this wackadoodle business? That can turn fun. But the cost on those web leads, internet, is much lower. So while you can get the universe of stuff out there, you have a little bit more budget and flexibility in chasing some of that business. And we have gotten, $20,000 premium out of a $23 web lead. So it pays off.
That's awesome. What's your close rate on those, on your live transfers as opposed to the web leads?
So your close rate on the live transfers for us, now that we've learned and know what we're doing and we can target SIC code and we know where our appetites are and we understand our state filing requirements, this is all just backdrop for letting you know. Don't go target the universe and understand what the state requirements are that the insurance company has to fulfill. Now that we've learned those things, our close rate is north of 60%, right? On those live transfers. Our close rate on the web leads, now that we know what we're doing in some of those industries, is about 40%. And I'm talking, you get the leads, establish contact, and then close. Right, so your close rate's absolutely higher on the call transfer side, right? But you just got to be ready to respond, make sure you know which carriers, and then very quickly establish a relationship because this person doesn't know who you are. They called in, they did some stuff on the internet, boom, they got transferred to you. So you've got to have the wherewithal to take the call, explain what's happening, tell them what your process is, tell them what your carrier network is, and then explain a lot of times what their requirements are before they even know them. They're starting a business. They're figuring out. They're fumbling, and they're kind of going through some growing pains themselves.
Mm-hmm. Logan, do you purchase leads? Do you purchase any leads from any web companies?
No, I don't purchase leads. Mainly our business comes from the mortgage brokers, social media, and we do mailers. We do mailers for home insurance renewals, and we do mailers for landlord policies.
What about you, Chance? Are you purchasing any leads?
No, we are referral based, really, business, and don't buy the leads. I mean, we don't. I mean, we're able to stay pretty busy without having to do the leads.
And we hope to get there.
I'm sorry, JZ.
I just said we hope to get there. We're brand new. We'll get there where we can rely on those referral networks exclusively.
Is anybody else want to share what they're using for referral? Is there any other websites that you guys are using that you have found helpful? Or what about a referral program for your current clients? I don't know what the different laws are in different states. Can you, have a fun, hey, you give me 5 referrals, you can have a AAA membership or a brand new car, whatever it may be. Has anybody done anything like that? Logan, he wants to give out cars on Facebook. I know it.
I'll
Go ahead.
I was going to say out here, it's California, the land of regulation. So a lot of the times you can't do a lot of those things. They put dollar limits on what you can send out. The dangerous part out here, when you do referral programs, and this is where a lot of my fellow agents kind of trip up, they'll issue a referral fee or gift card if they sell a policy. Huge no-no. Ooh, you can do it if it's a referral point of contact, great, sell it or not. you get in all sorts of trouble. And if you don't think California's looking, it's looking all the time. So you just got to make sure that whatever you're doing as a referral program, it's done consistently. It's not done randomly ad hoc. So anything you do is got to be done with some high intent and conscientious decisions on the front end. You can't just do it. Oh, this is Billy. Let me give him a referral. Oh boy, starts getting a little weird out here.
Is that the same for you, Chance?
No, Arizona's a little bit easier that way. However, I just don't want people to, like I do know some agents that do that. They only send the referral if you sell the deal. We send we're just trying to condition the habit of giving our name out. So $10 to me, it's worth it. When I was captive, I was buying leads, and a crappy lead cost $10. You know what I mean? So now I'm basically, we're closing these referrals better than 75%. It's $10 is cheap.
Yeah, absolutely. A question for you, Logan. Go ahead.
So it actually brought me back to my days as captive. We did a program. It was kind of like the employee benefit program. So we gave our clients, and they sent us 5 leads, almost like an employees at work benefit program, where we entitle them into there so they can go on and get discounts to like tickets and stuff like that. But we called our Dustin Agency Rewards. It worked out for 2 years before we sold that agency, but we haven't used it since then.
So is it something you're looking to bring back into your agency?
Yes. At the time we were captive, we had a marketer, we had more staff. We just don't have the time right now to bring it back. But when we do hire and we do have the capabilities of doing it, we'll definitely bring it back.
So tell me, Logan, what do you do when you have a referral from a client and you don't even want them in your, in your agency, and that client comes back and says, hey, how did you help Sally for me? What do you do in that case?
I don't turn away any business. I'm sorry. So I probably would have wrote it, to be honest with you.
Okay. What about you, Chance?
Same thing.
Do you write everything?
If it's coming from a referral partner, I don't care. I give it my best shot, even if that client is a pain in the butt. Now, sometimes there's stuff you just can't write, and I'll just tell them, hey, look, I didn't have a market for somebody with 2 water claims in the last year. Like, I just couldn't help them. I'm sorry. I'm upfront with them, because I'm trying to be their partner. These guys too, like I see them once a month. Now the pandemic, of course, we couldn't do that, but Arizona's loosened up a little bit again. I'm starting to take these guys to lunch again. So they are like my partners, and over time you build a relationship with the good loan officers that stick around, that you can be honest with them and say, hey man, I just yesterday, I could give you an example. I got a referral, and it's a little old lady I've told her what her policy is going to be twice, and she's forgotten twice. So I brought her into my office and I sat her down so I could make sure she knew what she was doing. And I called the loan officer and I said, man, she's a tough one. He's like, I know, I've had to talk to her like 3 times a day, but once you build those relationships, you become really part of their process and part of their team. And it's just a different caliber, you just get a different relationship there over time. It takes time, but once you build it, it's good to have that kind of relationship.
All right. So we had a question, Logan. Nathan wants to know if you could give some tips on that website.
For the employees at work benefit website, that one, Nathan? Oh, wait.
Nathan, I think if you want to talk, I think you're able to. Mortgage brokers.
Okay, so the Modex one. So basically the Modex one is just information for us as the insurance brokers to not waste our times on maybe a part-time mortgage broker or somebody that, will take a lot of our time, but won't send a lot of business. This kind of separates the big guys from the little guys and where you can find, that's what I'll say in that one.
All right, that is awesome. Well, I want to thank you guys all for joining today. Boy, I have so many notes that I wrote down. I have so much information, and I know that we still have questions that are coming in, but you know, I want to be respectful of everybody's time. So I thank you very much, Jay-Z, for coming on and talking to us about how you are capturing the commercial business and then how you're going after all their other business. That's some great information, and those websites are going to be very helpful. And Chance, thank you so much for talking to us and how we should approach the mortgage brokers and the real estate agents. That is very helpful as well. And Logan, thank you so much for the websites for modex.com and sharing with us all of your Facebook social media experience. I know that everybody is probably searching you right now. Remember, everybody, to go in and search everybody, like everybody's Facebook page. We are all together as one. We want to make sure that we are supporting one another. And go on to the AsNoa Facebook page, and if there's questions on where you should place business, you know, reach out to everybody that's on there, and you're going to be so surprised at how everybody is coming back with answers to those questions. It's a great bond that we all have. So make sure you are utilizing all of us. And also make sure that you are sending in your referrals to AsNoa, so you can, you know, jump in, start with the scholarship program, get registered for the sales conferences as well. If you guys have any questions, I'm going to hang out here for a little bit. If anybody wants to unmute themselves, have at it. Let's talk about what's working for you. I haven't seen anybody that's logged in that's letting us know what's working for them. So we do want to hear from you. So I will probably be reaching out to you guys to get some more information on what we discussed today. Remember to fill out the evaluation at the end of the session. I really appreciate it. And I keep this on here, you know, month after month, because I totally believe that we are all in this together and we need to help one another out. So thank you, everybody, for joining. Jay-Z, Chance, Logan, amazing information for our group today. So thank you very much, everybody, and have a great day.